being that you clicked on this video, I assume that you are thinking about doing YouTube, or you are gathering information, you're an information gatherer, or you're trying to work past some of your limiting beliefs on whether or not you could actually do YouTube, or you're ready to launch, but you're looking for those last little bits and pieces of what to do, or you're looking to revive a channel that you tried to start, but it's kind of resting, it's in a coma a little bit right now, and you're looking to relaunch it. So if that is you, I am very happy to have you here today, because I am passionate about helping my fellow peoples learn how to make real actual money online. Truth be told, I am not the obvious success story for growing a brand or business online or making a full-time income and beyond online. And so I want to take all of the dots I have connected over the past 6 or 7 years and help other people thrive and get past their stuff and live in their purpose and calling, because that's what I live for. In all of my exploration over the years of building online income, YouTube is my favorite. It's my favorite for everyday people having the opportunity to make real money online. And in my humble opinion, it is the best place for conversion and community. So again, my name is Lee. This is Homespun Income, and let's get into the video. I'm really hoping that some of this can resonate with some of you today. Thinking of where to start, how YouTube has changed my life, and why I'm not the obvious success story. First of all, I have no special business qualifications, no special tech or marketing qualifications. I don't have any plaques on the wall. I barely made it through one semester of college before having a nervous breakdown and realizing it wasn't for me. Prior to this, I failed at probably, I think, about 7 entrepreneurial efforts. I will say this, I always knew, I've known for a very long time that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But my reasons for that might be a little different than the typical reasons. I love being home, okay? I am a homebody. I don't like having to get up and be told I have to be somewhere every day. I've known this from back in school days. I did not like being forced to get up every day and go somewhere I didn't want to go. I really didn't like it. I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? Confession zone, safe confession zone. In high school, well, I had 1 year of high school I had to be homeschooled for health reasons. They had to send tutors to the house. But when I was there, especially my senior year, when I had a car, when I was able to drive myself to school and the car was in the parking lot, but even before then, I would literally just walk out in the middle of the day. I would leave. And the way that our school was set up looked a little bit like a college campus, and there was flat roofs. And we had a few vice principals in our school district. But we had this one, I'm not going to say his name, but we had this one vice principal, and he would stand on the top of the roof during the day at various periods of the day to see if people were in the bushes or what was going on. And he had a megaphone. And I would just start to walk across the grass, just start walking to my car, start walking down the road. I wasn't going to do anything bad. I wasn't trying to be a bad kid. I wasn't going to do any illicit activities. I just had to get out of there. The anxiety in my body for being trapped in a place I didn't want to be during the day was so overwhelming that I just had to walk out. And I would hear him announce my last name, because at that point he knew, and he would say, "Miss Blank, you can't just leave." And I would act like I couldn't hear him, and I would just keep going. I ended up graduating high school. My guidance counselor joked a little, but he was very serious, and I think they were just ready for me to leave. I was a pleasant person. I didn't go out of my way to do bad things. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything like that. I wasn't mouthy. I always got on my progress reports, "Pleasure to teach, but doesn't pay attention." Okay? So I was not a bad kid, but my guidance counselor said, "You have won the prize for having the most unexcused absences and still being allowed to graduate." And the thing is that I love learning. I actually have a passion for reading and learning. I love researching and absorbing information. I just didn't want to have to be somewhere that I didn't want to be. It felt like prison to me. It was suffocating in a way that I don't know how to explain. That could be something just about me personally, but it felt so suffocating. Part of what was feeding into that is I had really serious health issues. Okay, I've had health issues start all the way back from when I was like 3 years old. I was hospitalized for salmonella blood poisoning, and things kind of escalated slowly from there and then picked up really intensely. So I had some symptoms. I had a lot of stomach aches and sore throats in first grade, and that's when I noticed the anxiety start for the first time, and then the anxiety grew after the third grade, and then when I was 12, the symptoms started exploding, and I was very, very sick. I had maybe 1 year where things were a little bit better. I was very, very sick. So I wasn't able to be in school the amount of days I was supposed to be. I had a hard time keeping friends and keeping appointments. So that all fed into my comfort level of being home. I did get into the modeling industry when I was around 18 or 19. That felt a little freer to me because you could turn down jobs or you could take jobs. You were out in the open air walking around a lot. It wasn't like having to go to the same place every day. Though sometimes having to keep appointments was getting harder for me with different health issues. Every time I've ever tried to have a regular job, I was not able to hold that job for long because of my health issues. So I kind of knew that if I ever wanted to really do something, I had to do it for myself. I had to be able to do it on my own time frame. I had to be able to do it from home. So that idea was in my mind and that passion was in my heart. And you might have your reasons. If you don't mind sharing some of them, I would love for you to share it in the comments so that people can not feel alone. I think the reasons are really important because they are the fuel behind the hard days. So if you're passionate about wanting to be home but also wanting to make income, if you're passionate about being able to take care of your parents as they get older, if you're feeling passionate about being able to leave something to your children, if you're feeling passionate that you want to be able to give more, if you're feeling passionate that you want to be debt-free, that you want to leave this world debt-free, if you're feeling passionate about a specific thing that you want to be able to give to, or someone you want to be able to help, or that you want to be able to have this savings, whatever your reason is, I will tell you that you have to have reasons that are deeper than just money, because that's what's going to keep you going on the hard days. So I tried a lot of things because really, I realized at one point that it was either figure this out, figure out how to do something on your own, or you might have to go on disability. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I know even more now as I have researched this, as I've surrendered my life to the Lord, as I've sought His wisdom, as I've walked with other people through this, as I have gone on my own intensive journey through this and then turned around and tried to put those pieces together for other people to be able to skip just a few of the steps that I had to take. Because we're all made in the image of God and God is the ultimate creator, He's the ultimate creative, that there are creative aspects in all of us, whether it seems typical or not. And there are things that have gone on in our lives that if we truly trust in Him and believe His word, that we believe that He will work all things together for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purposes. So He can take all of the detours or the broken pieces of our life, and when we surrender those things to Him with trust and confidence, He can transform things into something better, into something new, into something that has impact on something outside of us. So, I grew up in the generation where we didn't have internet as kids. So learning all of this stuff was not simple, and it changes very fast, especially right now. And that's why when I was putting all my programs together, I wanted to put together programs that transcended the rapidly shifting world, if that makes sense. Because there are some fundamentals to this, some dots that need to connect that transcend all of the changes that are happening. And then I added on top of that, dealing with where we are in this moment in time, what's working, what's not working, and trying to break it down in a way where anyone can take a good shot at this and go into this with the most clarity and the best current strategy, having someone walk beside them. YouTube didn't become a business for me until 3 years ago. And I think part of that was insecurity. Part of that was, what are people going to think if I run this as a business? How are people going to judge me? And that was a lot of limiting beliefs that I had around the idea of money. And that's part of what fueled, when I went through that whole refining process, that's part of what fueled my book, Redeeming Wealth, God's Blueprint for Healing Finances and Building Online Income in a Shifting World. That was birthed out of me dealing with ridding myself of limiting beliefs, bad theology, going through all of the different points of the prosperity gospel versus the poverty gospel, and then getting into this kingdom understanding and mindset about what does God actually say about resources and stewardship and money and his heart on these things. And if I'm going to move forward with this with confidence and with wisdom, I really need to understand the heart of God here. So that's what that book was birthed from. So I started taking YouTube really seriously. Everything, I'm all self-taught. As I'm going through this process, I start taking some people's courses. Some of them were super big waste of money. Some of them were just really confusing and complicated. A lot of disappointment. I definitely learned a couple good things from a few of them, but a lot of disappointment. And so I thought, I have to start having business meetings with God, because he knows all the things from the beginning to the end. So I'm going to start learning how to have business meetings with God. And and this was also when I was in the process of, God had put in my spirit to begin to pray every time I prayed, to pray for an increase of wisdom and understanding in every area of life. So I was praying for wisdom. I was dealing with my limiting beliefs. I was going to take this really seriously. I was beginning to see this as an assignment and a calling. And then the picture, as time went on, the picture started getting clearer and clearer that what God does in a lot of these situations is he walks us through a process so that it can be all about us, so that we can turn around and we can help the person a few steps or a few places behind us in line. And this applies to almost every niche on YouTube. And it's at the heart of what I teach. It's at the heart of knowing your person, and it's at the heart of the transformation. It's at the heart of the message. It's at the heart of how people are superseding the statistics and actually building a successful YouTube channel that's not just successful on the YouTube platform, but that converts successfully off the YouTube platform. Because it's not just about making money on the platform. YouTube is an incredible hub to direct people to whatever destination you want to get them to, because YouTube is an incredible community building source. And so I started connecting these dots. I started applying the wisdom that God was giving me and the connections I was making. I started applying that to the main channel, watching it explode, watching the growth happen, watching the things actually working. And then I felt like God was tapping me on the shoulder and telling me to talk to people about making money online and resources. And I laughed. You know, in the Bible where it says that Sarah laughed within herself and the Lord heard it because she thought what he was saying was so preposterous. We're talking about someone who I got straight A's in English, but the best grade I ever got in math was a C+, who struggled with finances, with being wise with finances, with losing things, with getting it, then losing it. Just, I'm thinking, that's a little funny. But all of a sudden, all of these dots started coming together, and I'm watching him do something unbelievably incredible. And I'm watching this full-time income be birthed, and then beyond be birthed. And the dots are clicking. And then I'm applying, and then it's working. I'm like, oh, there is a strategic formula rooted in wisdom that actually works here. There are things that really truly work here. And it's incredible because you meet these like-minded people who you do get to build community with, who tell you these things about their heart and their life, and they encourage you, and then they want to use your resources, and it's so humbling and it's so beautiful. And then to watch the fruit come forth of the full-time income or the part-time income or the grocery money. I mean, if $500 a month extra could change your life, that's learning how to make $16.67 a day. On my first slow year, after I finally understood how this stuff worked, it was like $12,000 for that year. But that's an extra $1,000 a month. That was slow after connecting these dots. And we've moved well beyond that now. But that's life-changing for a lot of people, is it not? And so this doesn't have to be this big, horrible, overwhelming thing. There's so much possibility, and the reality is that YouTube is still growing. And I do believe, as I always say, I think we're in this window of time right now where there's real opportunity. It's a whole different opportunity than in the 2020 window. This is something completely different. I don't know when everything is going to implode. I don't know when the whole world's going to change, but there's an opportunity right now. And if I were you, I would do it right now. I mean, you're never going to feel fully ready to start. I think that is a fallacy. I don't think anyone's ever truly ready to start changing their life or getting uncomfortable or being refined or doing something new. I don't think we're ever truly ready, but it's the people that are willing to feel the discomfort and do it anyway that tend to succeed at things. And if you're worried about what some other people are going to think, maybe what your family's going to think about you doing the silly YouTube thing, that's valid. Being a people pleaser will keep you stuck in your life, guaranteed. I have seen it happen over and over and over and over again. And take it from someone who was in the modeling industry for 12 years, New York City, okay, high fashion world, brutal, and has been on the internet 6 to 7, 8 years, however long it's been, and had some of the most brutal things humanly imaginable said to me. Now, I don't think that's going to happen to you for some reason. I happen to be very polarizing. It's been that way my whole life. I don't know the deal fully why. People either love me or they just, like, I trigger this vitriol. It's usually women, but it is this vitriol that is so intense. Anyway, and I'm telling you that those are things you can overcome. Yes, maybe I have some calluses and scar tissue, but as I have walked through this journey and learned my identity as a daughter of God through Christ, and I really began to learn that. Worked on discipline in my mind and my words and my beliefs, albeit I'm definitely not perfect at it. But as I've worked on that, it gets easier. And I actually have kind of a flow and a formula, so to speak, of how I deal with that I'll share in another video. But all these things can be overcome, is what I want to tell you. All these things can be overcome. If you just think, oh, I'm just this little person, I think we get caught in this idea that it's always just for someone else. It's always for someone else. I couldn't do it. It's not for me. You can learn this stuff. I would love to walk beside you, but I want to tell you this, okay? If my resources are not for you, or we're not vibing, I'm okay with that. I totally get it, though I would love to walk you through this. Here's your two options. Your two options are to spend a few years figuring this out. Not everybody will, but it's very possible. You can do it all on your own from the ground up, like I did, like a crazy person. Takes a tremendous amount of tenacity. And I really do think being a little, having a few screws loose, but you can do it. Or you can take the slight shortcut and you can go to someone, again, it doesn't have to be me, it could be someone else. Go to someone who has a bit of that tenacity in them, that crazy tenacity, who's put some of the dots together, who can present it to you in an easy to follow formula so that you can connect some of the dots quicker. Those are really your two options. You can do it from the ground up, or you can go to someone who's done it from the ground up and you can learn from them. So if someone resonates with you, go find their resources. If you would like to learn it from me, to learn YouTube from me, I have my Purpose to Profit YouTube Masterclass. The class, the course, the program also comes with a Skool community for ongoing support and connection. And this is all my best YouTube stuff. It's all the diddly dots connected for you to be able, from start to finish, to start this process to the launch of this process and put your channel out there in the best way possible for the best chance of success. When people say, oh, typically your first 30 videos stink, Why? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to waste? And it's not a waste to just start something and actually put time into it, but don't we want our time to mean the most possible? If you're going to put time and effort into something, take time and effort away from other parts of your life. Don't you want it to be the most efficient and effective use of that time? So what I do is I walk you through that whole process from start to finish so that you can connect those dots. And I wanted to do it in a way that was budget accessible and attach the community to it so that as things do shift, as things come up, as you launch your YouTube channel, you can post it on there and there can be that ongoing support and connection. So we're gonna have some fun in the community. I also have my Crack the Code course. That's all the deep foundations on brand building online, making money online. And I have my 30-day online income clarity challenge and my redeeming wealth book. So if any of that resonates with you, all of it is faith rooted because that's the source of everything for me. I can't really teach things without adding that in because God is the reason. His wisdom, his patience with me is the reason I have done anything at all. So that is what I have available. I will put all of the links for you in the description box and pinned in the comments below. But YouTube has changed, it's changed my life. It's opened up opportunities for my family. It's opened up the opportunities when I see something and I want to help with it, that I can actually do it. It's opened up opportunities for me to be able to bless people. It's opened up opportunities and it's continuing to open up more opportunities. God is using that as an avenue for this fruit to be brought forth in my life. And I'm so grateful. And there are things that, again, that you can do on YouTube that are hard to do on other socials, especially when those socials are kind of concentrated around short form videos, which isn't a bad thing. It's just different. And so there's something special about YouTube. Again, there's no guarantees in life that things are always going to be here, but it's here right now. YouTube's here right now. The opportunity's here right now. The window's open right now. And everyday people are going on there and they're changing their lives. And again, it doesn't have to be this big grandiose business that you're going to build. You don't have to be cuckoo crazy like me. You can just make that, Costco money. You can make the money to build the shed or the chicken coop, right? Or to save up for the land or to get out of debt. You've been wanting to do this, just do it. But you're either gonna be consistent and learn how to do it from the ground up, or go find the resources that you need. What you don't want to do is just get hyped up and then not do it again and not do it again, and then get hyped up and then not do it and not stick it out. So you need a plan. That is a very important foundational piece of being successful at this. But I'm telling you, you can do this. If I can do this with the health battles I have walked through, without the degrees, without the tech marketing or business experience, if I can do this just with the creativity God's put inside of me, which he's put inside of all of us, the wisdom he's put into my heart, and the crazy, tenacious, dog on a bone personality that he's given me, I know that everyone has something in them that can be transformed into something fruitful. I would love to help you do that, but if you find it somewhere else, I'm just happy that you're gonna do it. You're gonna finally do it this year. So all of the information will be for you in the description box. I would love to have you subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how you're feeling. If it's something you're just gonna start, if you're thinking about it, if you've done it already, but now you're gonna, go back and try to revive it, let me know. But remember that you can do hard things. I appreciate you so much for taking the time to be here with me today. I love you, and Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you beautiful and precious souls right here on the next one. Bye, friends.